Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome, of course, to Communications. I'm Patrick Williams and I'm happy to teach this course for you for this semester. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of great information that we share from the perspective of how to communicate effectively. And I'm really looking forward to walking you through the next weeks as we deliver some great information and we also learn together in regards to how to write effectively, how to speak effectively, and how to communicate overall effectively. A little bit about myself. If you go over to the Instructor tab of Blackboard on the right side, you're going to see a little bit of information about me. It talks about my background. Of course, that's a really old picture, but it talks about my background working in healthcare administration for an extended period. I worked in Alaska for a long time at a critical access hospital in administration, and now I am in the larger realm of Providence. So I work for Providence Medical Group in Olympia, where I'm the Director of Ops for all of our outpatient clinics. So I really enjoy what I do. I deal with leadership a lot, deal with communication a lot, and I feel like I've grown to be effective at it, but I'm always learning. So I learn from students, and I learn from all of you every time I teach this class, and I really enjoy the interaction that we have together. First off, this is an online class. So this class is online. The lectures are pre-recorded, and information is delivered in a way where you can access it at any time you want. However, we do have an in-person session that is optional. It's called office hours that I hold every Thursday from 8 to 10 a.m. That's when your class is, right? So if you reach out to me and say, hey, Patrick, I have some questions about this week's material. I want to meet and talk to you face to face. We'll set up a Zoom call, and I'll make sure that happens immediately in that time period. And potentially outside that time period if you would rather meet at a different period of time. But if you reach out to me, I'm always happy to help in any way I can. And of course, while this is an online class, it's very engaged. It's very back and forth from the perspective of the instructor and student. The students communicate with each other. Discussion posts are big in this class, so we're going to talk back and forth about what we thought about this week's material or week's material and reply. And you'll see me replying in there, and it'll be a lot of fun. There'll be a lot of interaction for an online class. So let's talk a little bit about Blackboard course itself. So if you look over on the left side here, being an online class, you're going to have your announcement section. That's where this video is going to be posted. You're going to have your course syllabus section, which I want you to review for this week. And I want to preface this by saying this week is an extended week. So this week's material and information is not due until the following week. So if you take a look at the calendar, you're going to see most of the time when a week starts, your material is going to be due on Sunday of that week, end of the week. So this week is actually not due until the 15th. So when we talk about due dates, October 15th is going to be your due date, your final due date for the week, with the exception of the original post and the discussion post. So we'll talk about that in a second. Take a look at the syllabus. Take a look at the schedule. That's where it's going to show you when things are due. That's what I go off of. That's what we base information off of. It can be edited at time to time when needed. A highlight, of course, is your PPS points, your participation. If you participate in your discussion board and your assignments, you're going to get points, of course, but that's something standard. That's for PIMA, and then we do that as well in our online class. So I want you to take a look at all these sections. You have core competencies, course guides, your syllabus, and then also your course schedule. Take a look at that this week. We're going to review it again when I post a video, another check-in video prior to the weekend. So you'll see these check-in videos that happen a little bit before the week starts, so you'll know what's due next. So another video will be posted in the next few days, and we'll talk a little bit more about the syllabus and course schedule at that time because we have some big assignments that'll come due later in the year. But for this week, I want you to navigate to the course content section where your information is going to be there based on the week's material. So your week's module is located in the course content section. So let's take a look. I'm going to move the screen over again. We're going to scroll down and you're going to see some cool information in here about your research paper, which will be due later in the year. We'll talk about that more as time goes on. We actually have certain lectures that talk about writing and how to write effectively, writing in APA, and that's what this paper is about. So we'll have more information on that. Don't really stress over this. You can take a look at it, but it's not something that we have to do immediately. Your discussion board grading rubric, it is going to be something you want to take a look at pretty quickly. It talks about how to post discussion board forums, which is the way we communicate back and forth for this class. So we're going to take a look at that from the perspective of what's due this week. So I'm going to actually get to a screen that you guys are going to see. And it's going to look like this. You're going to scroll down and look at effective communication down here. Well, you'll know what I'm talking about when I highlight the discussion board. So your lecture is at the top of the page. I want you to take a look at the lecture for this short week. Read the material, of course, for chapter 1, and then watch the lecture. Then also take a look at the 2 TED Talks that I posted. They're always about communication. Most of the time they have a healthcare emphasis in there as well. So take a look at those videos. So take a look at your lecture, the 2 TED Talks, and then of course your due dates are going to be extended, right? They're not going to be due until next week. So I don't recommend you doing the discussion board or the assignment until next week, and we'll have more information about that when I post another video. I just want you to watch the lectures and watch the TED Talk. And I said lecture, it's actually just one lecture. Watch the lecture and watch the TED Talks. And then think about what your viewpoint is of the week's material. But just to highlight, the discussion board will be due on 10/11, your original post. So you're going to have a post about what you thought the week's material really made you think about, what your thoughts were about certain items that were brought up. And you'll post that in the discussion board on a thread, and it'll be 200 words or more, and that'll be due on October 11th. And I'll update these due dates here because this is an extended week. Your reply will be going to another student's post and replying to their post based on what you thought from the perspective of, hey, what were their thoughts and what do I want to give feedback towards. So you just reply to another student's thoughts. So just 2 posts. One's your original thoughts and then one replying to another student's thoughts. Your homework is flat world based. So when you look at homework for chapter 1, you're usually going to have a homework assignment for each module. It'll take you to a Flatboard link, and you'll do your homework based on the information that's located in the chapter. So you want to take a look at the PowerPoint slides, of course, and read the chapter, and then also take a look at the lecture, which is going to be based on the PowerPoint slides. So that lecture is, of course, led by me. And I think that's enough for this short week because we're going to have an extended week. I'm going to post another video soon. That gives you a lot to do in a short amount of time. So be sure to take a look at those sections. You can also take a look at the resource section in the course, which is going to have your Flat World textbook, so you can access it there online. You also have a tools section, which has information about, grades and stuff. But it's just a standard online course through Blackboard, but we have a lot of different elements, which is going to be really helpful for you, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. Again, nothing due this week. Things are due next week, and we'll talk more about that as time goes on. But take a look at the syllabus, all that kind of good stuff. Read over that. Read over the course outline, and then also watch the lecture for chapter 1 and watch the 2 TED Talks, and then we'll do a little bit more in-depth dive of what I expect in the syllabus, or what I expect in the syllabus from the perspective of discussion board and assignments. I appreciate all of you and looking forward to working with you. And if you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. My email is in this post. You can take a look at it. Reach out anytime. I'm happy to talk and walk you through things. Thanks so much for all your efforts so far, and I'm looking forward to the next video and working with all of you throughout this semester.